All right, game week finally got here. It's been a good preseason, though. I like the way our guys work. I like the way our coaches have been coaching. It's fun to see the new staff members and their personalities coming out, and I think it's been really good. You know, we started our preparation for this game on Friday. We got about a three-quarter practice in Friday. Worked really hard yesterday on our grind day. Then we'll go today with the same normal Wednesday practice. And then tomorrow we start cutting back as far as the volume goes on their legs, but more meeting time, walkthroughs, more of the mental preparation. But it is also good that we have the experience because they've been through game week. You know, a year ago everything was new to them, what we do on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So these guys have been through that, and that should help us in our teaching and getting prepared for the game. You know, what I want to get out of the game is to see us come out and execute, which means do their job, do what they're asked to do, work their technique and their fundamentals, and then play with great effort, play in and play out. And that's what you want to see is guys, what we call effort habit. We need a team that has an effort habit and plays hard every play. So with that, I'll just open it up for questions.
Is there a moment in camp when you kind of realize, okay, they're ready for a game, or okay, they need a game?
Yeah, it's probably more it's time to play a game. It's time to quit hitting each other. And, you know, I guess if there's one moment that sticks out, it would have been when we're in our last scrimmage and guys are getting a little testy, a little temperament flying up, and a couple guys usually that aren't that way. And it's like, okay, we're tired of hitting each other. Let's get ready for a game and start preparing for it. And so that's probably the one thing that always seems to come up is you get tired, it's hard work, and you're tired of going against the same guy every day in practice, and you know, every once in a while they get a little testy about it. But it's also a great teaching moment because, you know, there would have been a couple guys would have been out of the game and out the first half of the next game. So you kind of let it play out and see it as a coach. And I learned a long time ago, don't jump in the middle of any of that. No reason to get hit, knocked down. You just kind of watch it and then use it as a teaching moment on what would have happened if that wasn't a game. You know, if we were going right now, if we were walking out there right now and kicking, that's how it would be. Mason's had a very good camp. His times on getting the ball out are very good. His hang time and his distance has been consistent, and I'm proud of the way he worked at it and how much more he's improved from spring. Austin Johnson's a really good punter. He's going to be a very good punter. He's a two-step guy that has the ability to have great hang time and distance, but Mason, you know, got the edge in this battle, so he'll get the nod. And then Evan, I thought, is just his consistency, his ability to get the ball up high, and you know, gives us the range that, you know, right now you feel like if we get the ball around the 32, 31 yard line, we've got a chance to get 3 points on the board. So, you know, we've had years where it's been the 26 or the 27, but I feel if we get it to the 31, we got a chance to get 3 points on the board.
If it is Evan, will he do the kickoffs as well?
He will start as the kickoff guy too, yeah.
Coach, Stacy Thomas is listed as a starter. Has he fully recovered from whatever issues?
Yeah, he's recovered. He's been out there and going full speed. And again, don't get all caught up in Rocco's depth chart, not mine. Okay? But we still practice today. We still practice tomorrow. You know, we've got a lot of work to do. We've got guys that we have to see if they're full speed, ready to go. But Stacy is recovered. He's been out there. He's had contact. He's looked good, sharp. He's a very good football player that's been, you know, doing a lot of things for us besides being the starter the last couple years because he's been behind James Burgess. But he was able to back up James. He was able to back up Keith. He knows 3 linebacker spots, and is a guy that we really know is going to contribute and have a good year for us. So we're just really happy that he's back healthy and full speed and ready to go.
How much did he end up missing, and is he back to where he was before the injury?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't played yet, so we'll see how that goes. But as far as his speed, his agility, his flexibility, yeah, he looks like he's back, ready to go. But I'm just proud how hard he's worked at it, and I think we're lucky that our training staff stays in the same facility that our players. So we got him to a great doctor in a hurry, and everything got taken care of correctly.
No matter if it's your depth chart or Rocco's, does it really this year kind of not matter even more because you have so much depth and you move guys? I mean, you could start a tight end in the H-back, or Josh could start in the Dom, so it kind of really doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, I mean, what you have is different personnel groups. So like even the other day when Rocco was wanting to get a depth chart so you'd have something to write about. That's what he said. I said, why do I need to put out a depth chart? He said, well, they need something to write about. I'm kidding, actually. I think I said that. But anyway, I said we have basically 13 starters on offense because it just depends on what personnel group we're in. If we're going to start 2 tight ends in the game, or a tight end and fullback, or 3 wide receivers, there's basically 13 guys that are starters on offense. And even though it doesn't mean that much to me, it means that to their mom and their dad and the players that they're listed as a starter. So that's why we put offense that way. And defensively, basically what you do is you just list a base package because you want to make them work too. They need to find out, okay, who's substituting in on this defensive package, who's substituting in this defensive package. I always love it when I open up a depth chart and it lists who their nickel is. Okay, good. I don't have to study film for 10, 15 minutes to figure out what number came in the game. Because that's what you need to know offensively is we have a guy up in the box that just watches their sideline and see which numbers are coming into the ball game so we know what package we're going against.
Different, if at all, is it the last couple of years you've had a high-profile game, Miami, Auburn, to start the season, and you said you like that, players that sometimes motivate them all. So when it's not as high-profile, the opponents are there outside things that you change.
We've changed a little bit on our conditioning, on running a little bit more and working harder at making sure we're in good shape. We had to balance that with making sure we didn't do too much with the heat and humidity, because actually in the last 3 years this is certainly the hottest and most humid that we've had. So we didn't get to run as much as I wanted to, but we did practice at a very high tempo and did a lot more game speed activities. Even our scrimmages were run the clock, 40-second clock, play it like a game, special teams. So I feel good about where we're at conditioning wise. No, probably not. Probably not. We know they're a fast tempo offense. They've got a good running back. We know a little bit about their quarterback. We go back to, I can remember watching his video in high school and talking to him on the phone, recruiting, and he's a kid that I have a lot of respect for because I watched him so much in high school and his ability. I didn't watch him much when he was at Miami because we never had any matchups with him then, but he's a good football player. Defensively, they're going to give us a ton of looks. They have a very multiple defense. They sometimes line up in a 3-4 look, sometimes in a 4-man front. They even run some what we call 3-3 stack. They've shown games where they really want to pressure and some games where they don't want to pressure. So, going into the first game, it's okay. What you tell your team is we're going to have to make adjustments as the game goes on. We need to get over on the sideline. We need to be able to draw up, picture in your mind what the coach is telling you, and get smarter and get better as the game goes on. So, like every day when I walk down the hallway and I ask, were you in class today? How'd class go today? I always say to them, did you get smarter? you know, because that's why you're here going to college, is to get smarter. Well, that's what we're going to have to do as the game goes on, is get smarter as it goes on.
Is there a question in your mind that you'd like to have the answer to that you don't at this point?
Not one that I know of right off the top of my head. You know, I think there's a lot of questions. You know, how well are we going to run the ball? How well are we going to protect? Are we going to be able to execute with the type of timing that we want offensively? You know, defensively, are we going to be able to get some production and pass rush from our inside guys to make up for a first round draft pick? You know, how are we going to rotate them in there to do that? So yeah, there's a lot of questions, but not just one particularly.
Do you feel there's less uncertainty now than maybe a year ago?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no question about it. We know our players. They know the schemes that we're running. And now it's time to cut it loose and go use your technique within the schemes and execute at a fast tempo. That's really what we want to see.
How's the offensive line gelled? Do you have that starting five fairly solid there?
Yeah, I think so. You know, they've gelled well. They're working hard together. Tobias done a good job with the calls and communicating. You know, Keola and Khalil are two very talented guys, tough, physical, can really run. And then our tackles are very talented. Kenny Thomas has had a really good camp. He's going to challenge for reps, and, you know, he'll rotate in and make sure he plays a lot in this first game, because I've really liked what I've seen from him. You know, we talk all the time about Schiller and Robbie about playing center, but Nathan's also playing some guard for us. So we've rotated him in at guard and center, which I think is something that has helped us a little bit. Linwood Foy is very, very talented. He's just learning, though. You know, he reminds me a lot of Keola and Khalil last year, where it's all new to me. Do we really have to practice this hard? You know, do I really have to know all that much? And but he keeps getting better each day in practice, so that's been good to see.
Corner spot's been one that's been a little nicked up in camp. It looked like Jair and Tremaine were the guys.
Yeah, like I said, we got 2 days of practice left, and there's good competition going on there. So we'll see how today and tomorrow goes. But I do feel good, like we have 4 corners that can get in there anytime and compete and play. And, you know, we keep developing and getting better there. Yeah, he's had a really good camp. You know, he was really inconsistent in spring. What you did see from him in spring was a big physical guy that was tough and a great tackler. And he needed to learn the coverages and where his help was and just the intricacies of playing that position. And I think he did a great job, and he's had a very good fall for us.
Will it be your inclination this season, if you win the toss, to take the ball and win the game?
Boy, I hope so. You know, you probably don't even know how hard it was to walk in the locker room. It was like, well, every year I've been the head coach, with the exception of last year. I walk in and I have one person in the locker room that I'll come up to and say, okay, if we win the toss, we take the ball. If they defer, we take the ball. If we have to kick, we'll defend this goal, okay? And there was a time last year where I had to walk in and say, if we win the toss, we'll defer. That's the worst feeling I've ever had. Let's never do that again.
Was Coach offensive coordinator, would it be different on the field? Will one of them be in the box, or kind of the same?
Yeah, I'm going to have them both on the field, and I think that they're great with the communication that we'll have down there, and they've worked great together. You know, Coach K has been in the offense and understands not just the offensive line, which is really good, and Lonnie's brought some new things in and made us better as an offense, and his energy and toughness and demanding, I think, has really helped. Allows me to be a nice guy. I don't have to be the hard guy out there anymore.
We're going to see from Lamar in camp how much he
He's had a good camp. You know, he's doing a nice job with he's harder on himself now. He expects more from himself as far as his drops, his sets, his accuracy. That's really fun to see. You know, it was a really fun moment yesterday when we're in practice and Juwan's up taking a rep and Lamar's back there. And I walk by and I hear him talking and he's telling about, well, if this linebacker does this, this is what we're going to do if he does that. A year ago, he would have been on a knee drinking water trying to catch his breath. So he's focused and learning when he's not in there taking the rep, and they're communicating together, standing behind, and that was really good to see.
Because Charlotte is so multiple, would that be a good test of what he's learned? The 3 years?
Yeah, it's great, you know, and, you know, usually they'll probably try to come after us, you know, try to, you know, give him some different looks and bring pressure, and so it'll all be good to see what happens.
You're pretty positive about your running game, still feeling that way, and maybe the basis a little bit carries?
Possibly, you know, Brandon's done a really nice job. We really like LJ as far as his ability to run the ball, catch the ball, pass protect, knowledge. He's probably the most knowledgeable guy out there on the field besides our quarterback as far as knowing everything about the package. Jeremy has had a really good fall camp. You know, I got on him one day because he didn't have a long run in one of our live sessions, and it was the first time he's not had a long run in any scrimmage we've ever had here. So he always shows the ability to break a long run. Even in the games last year, he did that. Malik Williams has gotten into some of the rotation. He's very talented. He's fast. He's what you call a home run hitter. So you might not have to call as many plays when you hand him the ball or catches the ball out of the backfield, but he's still just learning. You know, so it's how much can he do, and you know, and what type of package can we use him in.
Bobby, do you have a pretty good idea at this point of who you would like to redshirt, or does that stay fluid as the year goes on?
Yeah, it stays going. What you do is you try to prepare them to play, and make sure they get ready to play, and then see what happens, and see who stays healthy, who doesn't stay healthy, and you know where you're at. It is a long season. You know, a long time ago when they moved the games up, it was supposed to be a deal. It was supposed to be a deal, okay, we'll go to 11-game schedule, and we'll give you 5 years of eligibility. Somehow that disappeared and went away. And you know what? It should come back. With all the games we play, the ability to guys that just had 5 years to play, you could play more guys on special teams. We'd have less injuries, guys that stay healthy. I don't know why it went away. You know, when you talk about student-athlete welfare, we ought to bring it back, because that would be the best thing ever.
Big schools can afford it.
How's it any different? How's it any different?
Grant an extra year tuition, et cetera.
No, because you're redshirting them anyway, right?
You
So,
have 5 years eligibility and redshirt
and then
or
if
not?
they're good, huh?
Does redshirt go away? with-
No, you'd still get 5 years of eligibility, but only play 4 years.
Oh, I see.
So, I don't know why, you know, why it didn't keep the momentum that it had.
You had some fun anecdotes this morning, and it seems like that you're really happy and comfortable going into the season. You've been doing it a long time. Do you think your players sense all that, pick up from you and the lead? You know.
God, I hope not. We've had a good, hard camp. It's been fun, and you know, I think that they can see that it's different when you have experience, and when not just me, but their position coach, the coordinators, start building that connection and trust, and you know, it becomes different because you value their opinion, what you seeing out there, what adjustments we need to make. You always do tell them that you know, you need to make sure you're saying the right things, which we call taking the arrow in the forehead. You know, I really remember I had one of the greatest kids ever to coach at when I first got here. Played guard for us, one of the most fun-loving kids ever. But whenever he told you something, it was the complete opposite on video. Like, I got the Mike linebacker. He didn't get the Mike linebacker. The nose went to me. The nose went the other way. You know, so you gotta you got to be able to build that trust where you tell me, it shows up on video, it was that way. The coach tells you something, it shows up on video that it was that way, and then you start building a bond, and you're able to make adjustments and get better on the sideline. And I think our players are seeing that and feeling that, and with the understanding of the schemes, builds more trust and more input from the players.